Thank you for joining us today. My name is Jessica Worthington. I am the Director of the Office of Downtown Development with the Georgia Department of Community Affairs, and welcome to our Christmas in July webinar. I have been trying to get Lisa and Kira to probably do this webinar for quite some time, probably almost a year in the making, honestly. So if y'all have not had the pleasure of meeting Kira Harris-Braggs and Lisa Fareed, they are the dynamic duo from Stockbridge, Georgia, and they have been the recipients of the Neighborhood Champion Innovation Award for their efforts in Small Business Saturday. And for those of you who have been living under a rock, Small Business Saturday is something that happens every year. It was started by American Express to help put an emphasis on shopping small. This is the Saturday after Black Friday in November. And the reason we wanted to do it now is because we had this kind of epiphany, which is probably obvious for a lot of other people, but I'm just going to call it epiphany on our end. That we like to do things that emphasize what our communities are doing and how they're making an impact, but sometimes we do them a little too close to the actual event, and then we don't actually have enough time to learn from each other and implement some cool stuff. So we figured if we focused on this early enough in the year, that would give you guys time to R&D, rip off and duplicate, learn from these lovely ladies, and see how you can actually apply this in your community. And so we're going to kick it off with them, and then I'm going to bring in two more panelists after. I'm going to bring in Alicia Hartley and Corey Jones, and they are going to focus on this really cool, innovative thing that they did. I'm not going to give it away right this second. I'll save it for when I do a little introduction for them. But this just kind of speaks to why our one-on-one assessment meetings are so important, because this is something that we learn from them at that time. And so again, assessments is a great way for us to get to see and share, and then again we take ideas from y'all and see how we can make that work. So all right, with that being said, enough from me, and I'm going to turn it over to Lisa and Kira. Let's let you guys kick us off.
Good morning, everyone. We do have a presentation, so Lisa's going to be driving the presentation, and we'll both be delivering this information to you all. So Lisa, let's get started.
Okay, hi, good morning, everyone. Great to kind of see you. If we don't have any technical difficulties, everything will go well. Hopefully you see our opening here, and Kira's going to go ahead and start.
Jessica gave you all an overview of Small Business Saturday, which was created by American Express in 2010. And, this means making a purposeful effort to patronize all of our locally owned businesses and restaurants on that Saturday right after Thanksgiving. The single day has grown into a really powerful movement, and more people are participating than ever before.
So you guys, once again, the city of Stockbridge will put out a call to our community to support our local businesses. However, based on community and business owner feedback, we found that one day just was not enough. So in Stockbridge, we actually celebrate Small Business Saturday all of November, the entire month long, and we call it the Stockbridge Small Business Blitz. This is a very smart shift for us because it allows for businesses to be supported for more than just one day. And it also allows for owners to incorporate special promotions into their daily operations.
And everything culminates in that Small Business Saturday. So we have a month of activities happening, and then everything culminates on that one day after Thanksgiving on Small Business Saturday. And since 2021, we've had over 30 businesses committed to our month-long celebration, but this might not work for your community. Your celebration could be much shorter, or even just that one special day.
So Kira, I think you've got some tips for us, yeah?
Yeah, here are some tips for getting your Shop Small celebration started. Um, Definitely start your communicating early. Get input and assistance from your business owners. Do regular updates and informational sessions. Encourage business owners to promote the event. That's one of the most important ones. And then look for areas of collaboration. And this has been really successful for us, finding collaboration between the businesses that are participating. First tip, start communicating early and often, I will add. July is a great time to start letting your small businesses know what you have planned. We recommend 3 touches. That's 3 touches with each business. This includes a call, of course, to just see what they're thinking about as far as participation, or if they're even thinking about participating. An email that kind of explains everything. And then we also do a visit, because we think that it's really important for us to stop by and talk to them face to face about what we're planning. We've created a Shop Small intro bag. It has a small promotional item in it, and it usually has a little invitation for an upcoming informal session where folks can learn more about our Stockbridge Small Business Blitz.
So input and assistance is pretty important. In Stockbridge, we created a small business blitz committee. This will be the second year that the committee is operating. It's made up of business owners and shoppers who offer campaign feedback. This group meets monthly. They recruit participants and they help with outreach. They're very instrumental in telling us what worked and what didn't work in previous years. This strong input actually led to the creation of our digital passport. And I'm going to warn you right now, a train is about to go by.
It might get loud. You know,
it's right there, you guys. It's right. It's going to scream. There you go.
Luckily,
Sorry.
you know, we're all familiar with, you know, trains going through downtown, so y'all are in good company.
Oh my gosh, it's so loud.
It's probably it's not too bad on our end. I think it's probably louder for y'all than it is for
Oh,
us.
okay.
Okay,
All
good.
right.
So we are working on a quiet crossing, but it's not here yet. All right. So I was saying that the feedback from our committee led to us creating our digital passport. So we're excited to announce that this will be the second year that we've gone digital. This made shopping more guided, and it made tracking purchases a lot easier.
But we still keep the hard copy passport as well, because we know that some people are kind of technically challenged and they don't really want to use an app. But we found that having kind of a hybrid system with regard to how we manage this has worked really well. And then the next step is just kind of updates and info sessions. We provide downtown business owners with regular updates. We also host informational sessions where we share ideas on how they can participate, give them ideas about bounce backs and things like that that'll bring people into their stores. As a matter of fact, later this week, we'll be having our first session for this year, which includes a training on the American Express resources, which is very, very important because, you know, those things are free and they can use them pretty easily.
Okay, and then updates and info sessions, kind of what Kira was talking about. We cannot stress enough how important it is for business owners to train their staff about the Shop Small campaign and activities. So what some of the things they really have to do, they have to educate their employees about the overall campaign. They have to stress the importance of customer engagement regarding the campaign. They ought to be using the promotional materials that we share with them. Some come from American Express, some our city is able to provide, some they make for themselves. And then also make themselves familiar with the campaign particulars. For example, how the passport works. And in our particular case, when it comes to the digital passport, how to download the app. We're making a big stress on this because we've shared these materials painstakingly, and then we get there kind of as secret shoppers and realize the staff has no clue what's going on. They might not offer the items. So it's most successful when they are all on board. And beyond that, we also make some pretty cool videos to reach the community. I'm going to go ahead and play this one. It's kind of short. Hope you enjoy.
I don't think we're getting audio
Is it?
from the video.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, did you say you cannot hear?
Yeah, I
No,
can't
the
hear
audio.
it. Yeah, let me
Fix
see.
that.
I am not sure. You know, one of the things we can do, guys, too, is that we could, if you have a link for it, we could share it in the chat so that people can check it out on their own.
Yep, it's in YouTube. I guess let me finish what we have, and then I
Yeah.
will share the YouTube link. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, great. All right, we'll move on.
Everyone wants to hear those fabulous words of wisdom.
And will you guys talk a little bit too about like what the app does, like how the passport app works itself? Like when people download it, like what's the experience that, you know, you're hoping for them to like have in that process, unless I'm stealing thunder from later.
No, well, that's part of the video. So Lisa, you can
Oh.
go on.
Okay, so I actually think this app is pretty cool. Basically, we went to an app provider that's been doing work for the city and asked them if they could do what we've got on our passport, but in a digital fashion. So it has a landing page that looks like our logo and the Shop Small logo. And then that leads you to a list of businesses that are participating. We've had 30 some businesses in the past. I'll try to show you. So there's a little icon on your phone once your download is successful. And then it takes you, here we go. It takes you to the
A little
list.
closer to your
How's
camera.
that?
Yeah.
Good.
Mhm.
Okay, it takes you to a list of businesses. It also shows you a map that lets you click on each business. You can also click on the individual businesses. So I'm going to click on Bovaluba Tea. It gives you a little overview of what Bovaluba is about. It also allows you to go to their website. We can also highlight like some kind of thing they're doing, a percentage off or something like that. And one other really cool thing here where it looks like a little QR code, if the customer clicks that, it takes them to another screen that allows them to put in their contact information and upload their receipt. That information comes to us. We are able to see how many purchases that person has made that qualify them for a drawing. And in the past, we've given like an American Express gift card to the winner. Now we've been told that we won't be able to do that, but we do think we'll be able to give concert tickets to the new amphitheater. So we've had some really good feedback from the community about this, and we're trying to find ways to expand the use of the app.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll be able to get everyone the link to the video. So we'll just go on and move on, and
I'm trying to
hopefully
move
we'll
it
be
to the next slide and it's not going. It's kind of stuck in YouTube mode. Let's see if we can get out of it.
I was gonna
Hang
say,
on.
try using the arrows, maybe that would, like on your computer.
That's what I'm using and it's not going anywhere. How do I get out of this thing? I'll see.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
So
There you go, Kira. Take it away.
after all of that and working with the app, one of the things that we definitely encourage folks to do is commit early. Commit early to this effort, and we can produce media materials. And this is an example of our poster that goes out that lists all of the businesses that are participating. And this is placed in everyone's window and around town. All over the place on bulletin boards so that people know who's participating. We also create different resources like videos, new ads, and social media content. All of that is dependent upon getting early commitment from your businesses. So starting in July is not too early. Actually, we've been working on this since I think March. So July is really a good time to get started if you haven't already.
And then, actually making it happen. Shop owners are a big part of the campaign's success. Without their active involvement in the promotion for this effort, it will really have very limited success. That has been kind of the Achilles heel of the whole program. So there are so many opportunities for businesses to make their shop small experience worthwhile. And we'd like to take a look at some of the ways we can make this happen.
Events and special activities, they're always a winner. And they don't take a lot of money. People can do things that they're already doing in their shops. And you basically are just slapping a sticker on it and saying, hey, this is a part of the Small Business Blitz, or this is a part of Shop Small Saturday, even though you've already been doing it. So for example, that sale rack that they have in the back of their store with reduced price items, slap a sticker on it, and then that is now the Small Business Saturday deal rack. So things like that are how we encourage our businesses to participate using very little money. But granted, if you have a special event or a special activity, it's important to invite people to the activity or event. We had a situation where someone was doing a customer appreciation and didn't invite any of their customers. They didn't send an email. They didn't do that 3-touch method that we always try to encourage. Give your invitees a call, send them an email, use your social media, visit them. When they come into your store, take a little extra time and visit with them to let them know what you have going on. So creating selfie spaces, that's really cool. Just a little corner in your store or restaurant where people can take selfies. Hosting games, a bingo night, scavenger hunts, flash sales, open houses, sip and shop, have a little wine and cheese, cocos and cider events, free gift wrap station. That's been something that's been very successful. Someone purchases an item or purchases at a certain price, they get free gift wrap. After hours events are especially good on weekdays when people are hungry after work and they just need to wind down. Rise and shine events work, especially on the weekend when folks need to get up and get out. So cup of joe on the go at your local coffee shop. That's something that works spectacularly during this type of shop small promotion.
Kira.
Also, oh, go on, Lisa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you might be done. I was just going to say, since you mentioned the selfie station, we've also got a promotion where we give a special prize to someone who's not only shopped at 4 locations, but shopped at 4 locations specifically on Small Business Saturday and sent us selfies to show that they've been there.
In front of the 4 places. So yeah,
Correct.
Thanks for mentioning that. That's a good point. And then most importantly, we really encourage our business owners to promote themselves. In the months prior to Small Business Saturday, we highlight local businesses on social media and we encourage them to do the same, tell their stories. This way, the community starts making connections with them early on. So starting in July and going on up to November, we're going to start putting out small vignettes and stories about the different businesses that are located in our downtown and around town that are participating in our small business blitz celebration.
Our final tip is that we encourage partnerships between complementary businesses. This is actually pretty cool. So for example, there's a vodka distributor in our community that supplies a new downtown restaurant with spirits. Um, the downtown restaurant kind of specializes in margaritas. So this is a perfect collaboration for a shop small drink special, events, or and also cross marketing. It's also an awesome example of two businesses coming together for mutual benefit, including cost savings and branding.
So that's all we have. That was just a really quick overview of how we prepare for Small Business Saturday and get our businesses up and running as far as participation is concerned. We hope that these tips have kind of inspired you and inspired you to inspire your businesses to participate. The holiday shopping season and Small Business Saturday are just around the corner. So it's never too late to get started. Celebrate Christmas in July by contacting your businesses today to get them started, at least thinking about how they're going to be involved with the Small Business Saturday and Shop Small activities in your communities.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
ladies,
much.
for sharing. I know right before we turn it over to Alicia and Corey, I'm the director, so I get to call an audible and, break the rules sometimes. I'm going to ask you just a couple questions. One is, what's the platform you use for the app? Is there like a special, is it called something, or did you guys build it from scratch?
It was definitely built from scratch. The company we use is called IT Simple. They do a lot of work for different municipalities. They were already doing kind of an informational app for the city, but we wanted our passport to be a separate app. So they are available if you guys want to contact them. Since we created this, they've gotten a lot of feedback from other cities asking them to make it for them as well. I'm sure they'd be happy to work with you. You cannot download the app though from like the App Store because it's kind of it's like a mini website. So we use a QR code. For instance, for Juneteenth, we had a booth at the big festival and we got something like 300 people to download the app that day. We also have a bit.ly link for Androids don't like the QR code as well as the iPhone does. But we're able to get folks to download. Once it's on your phone, then we can start working with you to kind of support the stores.
Cool, cool. And I know since we're going to have this question too, when I turn it over to Alicia and Corey, will you guys throw the name of the company and stuff in the chat so that way people can see it?
Yes,
I,
yes.
I know people are going to want to learn more about it. So thank you guys so much for sharing it. That's really awesome, really cool. Love seeing the innovation there and the move to utilizing that technology. So anybody else who has questions, throw them in the question section and we'll make sure to circle back at the end. So with that being said, I am going to make sure that Alicia's there and can change presenters so she can, Alicia, make sure I'm giving you the right access to that if you.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, perfect. And perfect. Y'all just give us a second to do this. All right. So Again, continuing with that Christmas in July theme, we've got Alicia Hartley from the city of Perry and Corey Jones, who is one of their board members, if I'm correct. And they are going to be talking about, again, something that they do for Small Business Saturday, but highlighting this really cool, what's the word for it? Bingo.
Bingo card, yeah.
Yeah, bingo card that they've done. And again, we were kind of introduced to this before with Alicia and then got a better feel for this during the assessment process. And I think we've all probably heard of bingo cards before in some capacity, but I just really thought that they took such a creative, unique approach to some of the things on the bingo card. And so I don't want to steal their thunder. I'm going to turn it over to them. But again, this is just another great idea, something creative that you can do to spur engagement and participation during Small Business Saturday. So with that being said, Alicia, I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jessica. So I'm Alicia Hartley. I'm the downtown manager for the city of Perry. And we also have Corey Jones. Corey, if you'd like to introduce yourself and your role.
Of course. So I am Corey Jones. I own Sweet Evelyn's in downtown, and I am a member of the Main Street Promotions Committee. I'm the chairman of that board, and I am just a Main Street board member also.
So I'll talk a little bit about our community here in Perry, just so you kind of have a baseline of what it can translate to in your community as far as numbers and involvement. And then we'll move on to the bingo card itself, and Corey can kind of explain some of the details of the card and the execution of that for Small Business Saturday. So our population in Perry is a little over 23,000 within our city boundaries, and all of our promotional programs and events are funded through the Main Street Advisory Board from their fundraising efforts throughout the year. So this is all of our promotional and Small Business Saturday and holiday initiatives are fully funded by the board itself. But the activities and logistics of these events and programming are brainstormed and planned out by the promotions committee. So for Small Business Saturday, we've really had a change in programs over the past couple of years. We had some coins that were collected, and we kind of were just continuing to evolve to figure out what would work best. So last year, we created a downtown bingo card, and our goal is to really make it easy for merchants to communicate to their employees, just like Lisa mentioned. You really need to get your employees and merchants on board and educate them, because if they're not educated, they won't be able to execute for you once it comes to actually promoting this program. So Corey, do you want to talk about the creation of the bingo card? Because I know you made that yourself.
Sure. So I think one of the biggest things about the bingo card was, as promotions committee, one of our biggest things is we're trying to promote and bring people to downtown. But when we started planning the bingo card, getting all of those spaces, we had to look and see what was in a line to see what exactly was required of someone coming downtown to actually participate. So each line you'll see, I wish it was a little bit bigger. Do you have that? Can you zoom to that? I don't know if it will.
No, I can't zoom in.
I can explain it. I can explain. So in each line, it does have something that had to be purchased. I know that that's important. So we want these customers to actually purchase from the merchants. So within that line, you'll see there is always something that had to be purchased in any way that you went. Some had multiple things, but the creativity behind this came from one of the spots says purchase something cozy. Well, that's up to the customer and the merchant whether that item is considered cozy. So it took a lot of creativity amongst us as the promotions committee to come up with each of these spots to where it made sense, for one, but where it actually served the purpose of getting people downtown, because your free space on this card was visit downtown, but also making a purchase to get some of these spots. There's a selfie spot on here. There is downloading the Perry Points program is one of the spots on here. So a variety of things for each line to get bingo. And then the blackout bingo, if you did everything on the entire card, you were entered to win 250 of our downtown dollars.
So this went out really well. We did this only for Small Business Saturday, and I'll talk about how we're planning on improving it for this year. But like Corey said, for Blackout Bingo, if you did everything on the card, you got a tote bag and you got entered into a raffle to win the 250. If you did just a regular traditional classic bingo line, you automatically got a tote bag. And so you can change these bingo card options out to best fit your downtown. So on the promotion side of it, like I said, getting merchants on board was one of the most integral parts of piloting any sort of Small Business Saturday program, as well as educating customers. So here's a variety of things that we did to educate the customers and visitors to downtown. We posted on Instagram. We worked with our communications office to create a video to show and model exactly how you would get your bingo card and how that would operate. You'd get your bingo card, take your purchase to the merchant to check out, and we handed out holiday stampers, just basic ink, like play stampers, and that's what the merchants used to mark off the bingo card. And we also did a holiday preview on the Inside Perry podcast as another way to reach merchants and the customers to educate them on what we were doing for Small Business Saturday. So education obviously is a really big theme for today as well. So for the execution the day of Small Business Saturday, we set up a table along the main intersection and sidewalk corridor downtown, playing music to garner attention. We had our table set up with additional bingo cards. I also had a selfie backdrop available for people to take selfies with all of our props and things like that. And like I said, at the bingo, we distributed bingo cards at this main location table, and also the day before or the days leading up, I handed out bingo cards to all of the businesses that would be open on Small Business Saturday. So that way a customer didn't necessarily have to walk across our main table to get a bingo card. They could have grabbed a bingo card while they were doing their shopping to kind of kick off their day. So there are some numbers there. We only actually had 26 classic bingo cards completed. And so that's how many tote bags we handed out. And then we had 10 entries for the blackout bingo card. So if we were to go back and look at the bingo card there, there's 16 spaces. So that means 10 people completed all 16 spaces, and which would have resulted in a lot of purchases for our downtown businesses. Additional activities that we do throughout the year and throughout the holiday season is we do Small Business Saturday with the bingo card. You can kind of see a zoomed in version there. And that kind of kicks off all of our holiday activities. And from there, historically, every single Saturday in December, we've done some sort of activity. Whether it's a tree lighting ceremony on our main lawn, we do cookie decorating, which is what we call Winter Wonderland, where we have cookie decorating, a hot chocolate bar, ornament decorating available for families. And then in the upper left-hand corner with our beautiful stilt walkers, last year we did Historic Christmas on Carol, where these were the stilt walkers were the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. And we had a volunteer from the library come read a kid's version of A Christmas Carol on our lawn to kind of kick off that day, as well as we had a cellist playing for some ambient music throughout downtown. So the bingo card really is the liftoff for our holiday season and activities, but all of these are supplemental throughout the season as well. Corey, do you want to talk about what we're doing to improve for this year and the change and things we've learned?
Sure. So one thing that we found with the bingo card to make it better would be to actually allow customers and people visiting downtown to have a longer time period to do the bingo card. So what we said back to our friends in Stockbridge was to have the bingo card where it was accessible for the entire month of November. to get someone to do blackout bingo, it sounds really fun, and we did have that many people to do blackout bingo, but their main focus would have to be trying to complete every one of those stops instead of actually spending time with our merchants on that day. So expanding the time frame for the blackout bingo to a whole month makes a little bit more sense. Another thing that we said that we could potentially do was make the bingo card bigger. I don't know if you really looked at it, but it didn't have exactly what a traditional bingo card would have. It was a little bit smaller. So expanding on the actual squares and having more of them was something that we also are planning to do for the bingo card itself. Anything else we've talked about, Alicia? I know we've talked about so much for
Yeah.
expanding the project. So
it was really well received by our merchants, but as any program that you roll out for downtown as a part of promotion, it's educating the staff. So you might talk to the same store manager or business owner time and time again when you visit, but it's making sure that that business's staff that will be working that day or throughout the month in this case are fully educated on the program, so that if someone presents a bingo card to them, they know they're not like, okay, now what do I do with this? They know that they need to stamp it for whatever the qualifying purchase is. So again, just getting out flyer information and detailed how-to for all of our businesses will be a priority this year as well, just furthering that education component.
So I will say, in comparison to what we did pre-COVID, because I think we always say pre-COVID now, we had actual wooden tokens that you would gather from merchants just by visiting. You would get a token. If you made a purchase, you would get another token, and then after you accumulated a specific number of tokens, then you could be entered for a drawing or whatever. That just got to be a lot. And then when COVID hit, we needed something that was a little more passive and stuff that wasn't as hands-on. So we started thinking about different ways. And then last year we finalized on the bingo card, and it is very much so easier than trying to keep up with tokens, having your merchants have to keep up with tokens. Literally, the merchants just stamping. So this was a tenfold, a completely different thing, but so much easier on all parties involved, having the bingo card. And it was a little bit more fun. It gives you something to do and not just go from business to business to gather tokens.
Yeah, a lot of customers were treating it like a hunt. Like once we told them about their bingo card,
Yes.
when they got downtown that morning, they're like, oh, this is cool. I have things to buy. I'll be back. And so like they'd go hunt around for the mid-morning, then they'd come back and they're like, I finished my bingo card. And then so we'd get them to submit it with their name and contact information to enter them into blackout bingo or just give them their tote bag. So I think that covers our main program and our main discussion of our activities for Small Business Saturday and how we plan to expand it and improve it for this year.
I love it. Thank y'all for sharing that. And I know we'll get this question too. Would you mind, Alicia, sharing the card that you guys have developed previously with us, so that way if anybody wants to R&D, they can? Because I think one of the things that y'all have done so well with it is how each spot has been named, and there was in one of your slides you could kind of see that, but you were talking about buy something cozy, and one of them's treat yourself, and I love this, write a positive review of a downtown business. So it's again, it's buying something, but then also just some really low hanging fruit that is easy for anybody to kind of participate in. And I think again, just creates that goodwill and positivity of that downtown experience that we're all looking for.
But yeah, I can share that. I'll probably, because it's it's a PDF document, so I don't have it accessible to share as an attachment, but I can put it in the Main Street Managers group or something like that.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking. I think that would be a great place to share it. And then again, I would highly encourage everybody, to customize it to see what you have and make sure that it's tying in with your downtown businesses. But I love this because I think it's a great way of, doing something active and engaging for Small Business Saturday. I love that you guys are going to expand it and, take it to the entire month. I think that's like a really great way of saying, hey, this was successful. How can we build upon that? And, not throw out the baby and the bathwater, but like, learn and build upon that experience. So I really love that. Thank y'all for sharing.
Of course, thank you.
And so we can bring back Lisa and Kira and see if we have any questions for the group. So if y'all have looked at chat, we've put some resources in there. Lisa shared with me, the YouTube link, as well as the digital app and the company for who developed the software. All of that should be in the chat, and I'll make sure to save that so that way anybody who has questions later can tap into that. I guess, and I've got a question for the group. So this is, for both Stockbridge and Perry team. Is there any one thing that in hindsight, starting this whole process that you're like, oh man, I wish I would have known this in the very beginning. And now that I've been through it, I'm kind of aware of it. But if I could go back and tell myself something, this is what I would say.
I will.
Yeah, we can't. There you go.
If you don't mind, I'd like to take a stab at that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would just say that, and I think Alicia, she also touched on this as well, is not just telling the owners or the manager of the place of business. Have some sort of training in place for the staff, because it is so important for the staff to understand what the promotions are all about. Because if you have a passport or a bingo card or some sort of promotional item that has to be recognized by that shopkeeper in some way, and the staff doesn't know that they're supposed to stamp it or they're supposed to give you some sort of token, the promotion just kind of falls flat and people get frustrated, and then they don't participate as effectively as they could if they had been more educated about what they were supposed to do and how they're supposed to proceed with the promotion.
I'll
Makes
follow up to that, Kira. I will say that importance of getting the staff to know that is so big. And you can't always rely on the owner or the manager to relay that information properly either.
Right.
So we can all attest to staff shortages over the last year, and people may be bringing in others to work specifically for these events, and they're only coming in that day and they have no clue as to what is going on. So having, even if it's a document that outlines exactly what to do, that getting the staff in the know about what you're doing, I think that is huge.
That's one way we've also tried to educate business owner staff for our YIFT Downtown Dollars program, is that I've handed out laminated flyers of a how-to guide for how staff can process a YIFT gift card for a customer. So like Corey said, just making sure that there's something that they can put in their break room or have it right next to their cash register can be a huge help.
And Lisa and I have actually created info sessions and a video that can be shared with the different business owners that tell them how the promotion is supposed to run. And we do the in-person kind of trainings for everyone that we call kind of an idea smash, where people come together and just learn how to work the promotion, because it's just so key to making this a success.
I think that everything everyone has said is spot on. And unfortunately, some of our heartburn has been the merchants will come to us after, like in December or January and say, I thought all these people were going to show up that day and they didn't. And, I feel bad for them because they didn't get the turnout they were hoping for. But when we go to their shop, Like the loot we give them for free is in a corner somewhere. Like we literally see it sitting in the corner and we're like, you didn't use the stuff. You didn't, activate the program. They want us to do pretty much everything and they just want to sit there and let people come through the door and pour money on them. And I'm like, I can't even promise you that people are going to come to you just because you're on the passport. I'm putting you on there so that they can see that you're there. And then I need you to make them come, to, do something, put balloons out, put something on your social media. And we really try to help train so that people will, become more savvy. But if they're not doing anything, they're not going to get anything back. That's the hardest part of it.
Right. We've run into that a few times before where our individual merchants aren't promoting the events and then want to know why they didn't have customers. So they're not promoting it. So they just, there's no answer to that really. But if they can't do it, then.
Yeah, I feel like you guys hit on really important components. One is the education for, the staff. And then two, that, as the Main Street program, we are actively kind of putting together this campaign for you guys, but you have to meet us halfway, right? Like we can't do all of it for you. Like Lisa said, we're not going to like rain down customers and money. You got to meet us halfway. We can provide you the support and the collateral materials and the message and stuff, but you have to be also your own best advocate. And I think that again ties into that education component. And I would say that's not just for like Small Business Saturday, that's for everything all the time. Helping empower businesses to empower themselves. Alicia, with the blackout bingo, you put them in that drawing for the downtown dollars. Do you find that there's also some kind of education component that goes with that for the businesses on like how to use and accept downtown dollars and, so that someone doesn't walk in the door to try and spend it and they're like, what is this? How does this work?
That happens a lot more often than we'd like to share, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Again, that's just educating the staff beyond the business owners and managers that said, yeah, we'll be a part of downtown dollars. And so we actually created this year a like window cling that says I accept downtown dollars. And so I give those to the businesses once they're fully registered and their activation and their listing is live, as well as that one sheet flyer that's laminated for them to share with their staff that literally gives them a step-by-step on what to do if your customer presents you a Yifty downtown dollars gift card.
Awesome.
But that $250, I will brag about Yifty all day long because one of the best things about it is you can see where it's redeemed. And so you can know that money's going right back into your businesses downtown. You can see where it's redeemed for how much, and the metrics on it are super helpful.
Yeah. And so for anybody on the webinar who's not familiar with downtown dollars and like how something like that works, Alicia, will you just walk us like briefly through that? Just a high level, this is how, this is what it is and how it works.
Yeah, so we have downtown dollars that are powered through Yifty. So Yifty is the managing platform. When a new business or a business downtown says that they want to be a part and accept downtown dollars, I go in and put in their merchant information, their address, phone number, business name, and then I print off an activation card. I take this activation card to the business, and it's basically, it looks like a digital gift. It looks like a printed out gift card with a 16-digit credit card number, a CVV code, expiration date. And so that's how the business's POS system gets logged in and activated to accept those downtown dollars. So we have in Perry, we have over 24 businesses that actively accept downtown dollars. So it's easy way. You can purchase a $25 gift card for someone you don't know very well, but want to get them a present, birthday gift, something like that, and just send them on their way downtown to spend it at a restaurant, at a boutique, at a hair salon, anything like that. So it really is customizable to meet the customer's needs.
And the idea too behind it is to make sure that those dollars versus being able to be spent anywhere in the entire city or county, are focused in spending it at those businesses downtown, correct?
Right into our district. Yep.
Yep, absolutely. Now, do you guys, Alicia, with the system you have, do you get to track like how many have been purchased and where they've been spent and stuff like that?
Yes, so I get an email every time a gift card is purchased for the amount that it's purchased for. And then I also get emails once gift cards are redeemed. So if I can come in on a Monday and see that 3 gift cards were redeemed for X amount at these places. And so at the end of last year, I actually pulled a report. I don't know the numbers off my head, but in 2022, a significant amount of more gift cards were purchased than in 2021. So that is something that we're keeping tabs on. And it also is seeing how we are supporting the Downtown Dollars platform and communicating that to the customers and our visitors year round.
Kira, Lisa, same kind of question to you guys. Are you able to track like how much has been spent at these individual places, like to be able to say, oh, hey, so and so, you had, this many purchases through that throughout the season and stuff like that?
Yes. So,
Lisa, you can go on.
thank you. Now, we've been doing this for like 8 years. And when we just had the hard paper passport, there was no way to track what the purchase amounts were. But now that we have the digital app, when the customer uploads their receipt to us, we can see where they've shopped and how much they've spent. And many times they'll make more than one entry because they're trying to be qualified for the grand prize. So we can really sort of add up how much is being spent and where is the most popular location. It's not foolproof because obviously some people make purchases and don't upload the receipt. They might not know how, or there are just different things that it slips through the cracks. But it's been really great having the app because we get so much more data. We can actually see how many people have logged on in a week, or new users, or even if they're existing users, how many times people have toured the site and which locations they're going to the most. So we're getting a lot more data now.
I love that. And then guys too, this is like me just brainstorming on the spot, but if y'all use Placer at all, which is, kind of like it uses cell phone data to be able to see where people are going, you can be able to compare the spots that are, as part of either the passport or the, either passports or bingo cards, and be able to compare from like a slower month to that month and see, if there's more activity around those spots. Again, just to help advocate, for people to participate. And I know, Alicia, we've already got someone asking for a website or a link to more information about Gifty for the gift card.
I can share that. Yeah,
perfect.
I can pull that up.
And then if you don't mind, guys, if y'all share your presentations with me, I'll make sure that we share access, just a PDF version for people to be able to kind of go through at their own pace later. And one question for either group, do you guys do any like sponsorships for your programs, like not like for your programs overall, but for these specific activities? Are you looking for sponsors, or do you promote sponsors, or is it really, how is that kind of structured?
With our program, this is actually going to be the first year, 2023, that we're going to be offering sponsorships. Okay. And we're doing that because we want to bolster our video collection for our highlighted businesses, and then also to make our prizes a little bit more robust, and the loot bags a little bit more robust.
Very cool. I think that's a great idea. Now, Kira and Lisa, do you include businesses that are outside the district, or is it you have to be in the district to participate in the digital passport?
So the grand rule. Okay. Go ahead, Kira.
Go on, Lisa.
Okay. So the grand rule is that they need to be in city limits, because our downtown doesn't have an actual square, like a lot of old downtowns do. And it was kind of defunct for years. We're getting better, guys. We've got shops now, but and restaurants. But prior to that, it was incumbent upon us to use all of the city limits for shop small activity. But with that, there are a handful of businesses that kind of joined us in the early days, and they're like right on the border of city limits. They're sort of in the county, but they were already participating. So we've grandfathered them in, and it's really maybe 3 or 4 businesses. Other than that, they need to be within city limits. They need to have an active and good standing license with the city of Stockbridge in order to participate. And I say that importantly because we are at the border of Clayton County, and there are so many Clayton businesses that beg us to participate with our program, but we can't do it. So that's how it works.
What about you guys, Alicia and Corey? Do you have limits as in who can participate and like what businesses can, are in or out?
Ours are limited to our DDA boundary because of the way that everything's funded. The Main Street Board's paying for these programs, so we want to keep it in with our district.
Makes sense. Cool. So we're coming up on time. I appreciate you guys being here, sharing this. I do want to also give a plug for Kira and Lisa. They'll be doing a session at the Georgia Downtown Conference coming up next month, and it'll be a little bit deeper dive than what we even got to see today, and just really kind of talking about the nuts and bolts of it. Oh, I do have one more question before for both folks before we leave. I was thinking like lead time for creation, right? For both the bingo card and the app. And, I know education is its own thing, but like if someone was going to start, and wanting to do that this year, how much lead time do you think they need to kind of make some of this happen and pull it together? I'll let Kira and Lisa start first.
I was going to say now.
Yes.
Now's the time to get started. And I say that because, and it really depends on how big you want things to be. Because we're doing, we have components that last a month long. We have to start much earlier than groups that might be only doing things on just that small business Saturday. So it's never too early because of the education component that's so important. You've got to start talking to people early on so that they understand it. If they have questions, they can come to you. And, as I told you, we host training sessions. So people have time to get to those training sessions and learn more about our promotions. So I would say you need at least 2 months minimum if you're just going to be doing something on Small Business Saturday or something that isn't really big, but definitely now if you're going to be doing a lot of activities and things that have a lot of moving parts. Wouldn't you say so?
Add that because we do a poster, we do newspaper ads, we make video vignette, we need time to get those things produced. So we try to make sure we get buy-in as early as possible. Any business, every year we have businesses that want to get in at the last minute, but they might not get the best of what we're doing. We'll let them participate, but really a lot of this work has gone in months in advance.
Awesome. Alicia, what do you think? How much lead time does someone need to implement this bingo card and kind of make this happen?
Yeah, I'd say a couple months because we started brainstorming what items we wanted on the bingo card months in advance. And then Corey created the card himself from scratch. And then it does take the printing. We printed all in-house on cardstock and cut them all in half, and then distribution. So I kind of agree with the 3-month timeline. Corey, I know you created that yourself. So from the design side, do you have any feedback?
Having a little bit of a background in graphics, that bingo card probably took me about 30 minutes to create.
Yeah.
So for someone that's not as familiar with that, or they have to outsource someone to do graphics, it could take a lot longer. But being able to do that myself, it doesn't take very much time. So
We do a lot of stuff like that in-house if we can help it,
yes.
because it does just bring the cost down, and we can do things on a shorter turnaround. But I'd say the discussion with the promotions committee to brainstorm what we wanted on the bingo card and that balance of purchase versus non-purchase probably took the most effort and time,
For sure.
time-wise.
Corey, because you have that, background with graphic design and stuff, were you building the bingo card in like Illustrator or InDesign, one of those platforms?
I actually use a program called Inkscape. Inkscape is
Okay.
now actually free to use, but that is what I used even in college, was Inkscape back that far. But it is very much like a like InDesign type software.
Mhm.
A lot of people do use it because you can draw and like edit nodes. I'm not sure if you're familiar what nodes are, but if you're doing large scale things and like vinyl cutting and all that type stuff, you have to have a node editor. It also does that, but Inkscape to me is just what's easy to use, and you can save it as all file types and stuff like that too. So PDF and PNG, all of those different files. So, but that's what I use is Inkscape.
Awesome. Yeah, and I was thinking too, thank you, Carly, for pointing that out. I was thinking Canva for any design novices
Yeah,
might be a good
a lot of people
alternative
are
as
using
well.
Canva.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Loved hearing this, and I'm excited to see how everybody else is going to be able to, R&D this and make it work for them. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank y'all.
Bye, everyone.